Yo, yo, yo. We're going to start this podcast real soon. And just figure out how to go ahead and share this to the peoples. There we go. There we go. And share this. We almost there, guys. Hang tight. We're about to get started. It's going to be a great day today. I can feel it. I can feel it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the FMA Dumpster Fire podcast, where we discuss issues we like to pretend don't exist. And today's issue, is a good one. By the way, are you guys enjoying the warm dumpster fire? Are you enjoying the crap out of that? Let's go mute this. We don't need to hear the crackles of the dumpster fire that can be the Filipino Martial Arts community. But you know, I say that in jest. I love the Filipino Martial Arts community. I love FMA. This podcast is kind of a joke, right? So if you're one of those rare Filipinos who don't have a sense of humor, the fuck out of here. This is not for you. You're only going to get upset. You're going to raise your high blood pressure. You know, your gout's going to flare up. So get out of here. This is going to be a pretty funny one. Well, because today's episode is all about this. I came up with this idea, right? And I mean, it's not even a new freaking idea. So I wanted to create, by the way, do you guys like my freaking cowboy hat? Right? I should put up like, I'm all over the place. But eventually, if enough people end up enjoying this show, I'm going to put up a PayPal link to my favorite FMA charity, to my own personal PayPal account. Let's be real. But we're going to spread the love, right? We got the Abanico Tres Puntas Youth and their youth program. They are providing free FMA training to kids in the Philippines who may not otherwise be able to afford it. We got the PTTA rescue and relief efforts going on during calamities. There are a lot of amazing projects, endeavors that help out the less fortunate relating to FMA, but also there's a lot of grandmasters out there. They could just use a bit of help, right? So if this podcast ever becomes anything, right, we're gonna put up a link. You know, sometimes it's gonna pay for my coffee, sometimes it's gonna pay for a cool cowboy hat, but I think most times it's gonna go back to the Philippines to help out these old dudes. Oh my God, I got someone at the door. It's a live show. Hold on. Oh, we got a package. It is a live show, motherfuckers. Shit. Okay. I promise I'm going to get to the point real soon. But that's what we're going to do with this podcast. I'm just going to go live. I'm not going to make too much of a big deal out of it. You know what I'm saying? This is a dumpster fire, right? This is a dumpster fire. This is what this podcast is all about. It's going to be purposefully a mess. My God, we're talking about Filipino martial arts. After all, at least it's congruent. So anyway, I came up with this stupid idea. And let me be the first to admit, the idea is dumb. It's a stupid idea. Who the fuck wants, a top 50 FMA influencers list? Come on. We all know it's gonna be divisive, right? It's gonna make some people cranky wanky, you know? It's gonna create some simangot faces out there. Simangot, by the way, is like a sulking face. I'm gonna teach you some Filipino culture while you're here. What am I going for? 5'11" tactical shirt, cowboy hat, do-rag, nerd glasses. I'm all over the damn place. I am so inconsistent. But anyway, I like that about myself. Can I get back to the fucking point? So the point was, I had this really stupid idea to make a top 50 best influencers in FMA of all time. And already some dudes were like, "Rah, rah, rah." So my God, it's like, no new ideas allowed in Filipino martial arts. Nay. Fucking jokers. But this is how it goes. This is how it goes. So somebody comes up with a stupid idea. Let's call that guy me. And some people hop on board. They're like, hey, there could actually be some positive outcomes to this stupid idea that you had, Paulo. What the fuck is a top 50 FMA influencers list of all time? Anyway, but the detractors have a point, right? Let's not ignore that these simangot faces, these killjoys, they have actually a good point, right? First of all, their first point is, what's the point? And let me answer that. I don't know. Like, it's probably pointless. Okay. But if we want to talk about pointless activities in FMA, let's start with drills. Fucking with you. But there's, you know what I'm talking about? If you want to talk about like pointlessness in FMA, let's talk about all the, the Grandmaster circle jerk going on and the gifting of rank for not doing shit. There's a lot more bullshit in FMA that we can focus our hatred towards than my stupid top 50 FMA influencers list. But these simangot faces, these gatekeepers of the old way, like they like to think that stuff, but they're not. But anyway. Oh, fuck, I got a comment. What could possibly go wrong? Badger Jones. What's up, homie? Welcome to the podcast, Badger. Yo, I think this show's going to be a hit if I can only get my shit together. But as a reminder, this is a dumpster fire. So lower your expectations, okay? I'm not going to solve all of FMA's problems. I'm probably going to exacerbate some of them, if I'm being real. No, but we're gonna bring all the bullshit to the surface, right? And so feel free to leave me I'm gonna create a banner. Hang tight, motherfuckers. I'm gonna create a banner that goes something like, I don't know, welcome to the FMA dumpster fire podcast. There we go. And I think I should ask, give me some shit to talk shit about. Let's be honest, yo. If you've done FMA for any length of time, you've got issues, right? You've got issues you want to discuss. You've got real, like, fucking shit you want to get to the bottom of. But there's a good chunk of, the Filipino martial arts community who are going to tell you things like, oh, you can't talk about that, and that's disrespectful. And to those people, I say, yeah, okay, cool. You also have a place in the broad spectrum of Filipino martial arts, but stop trying to cull the noobs, man. That's the future of FMA, all right? Treat them well. And plus, not all noobs are dumb. You know what I'm saying? Not all noobs are dumb. And not all grandmasters are smart. A lot of them are drunk womanizers. But they're good at swinging sticks. Let's look at them for that. Let's not look at them for, necessarily like life advice. You know what I'm saying? It's like, GM, I'm having problems with my wife, and I'm not quite sure that I'm managing my drinking problem. And like your GM is gonna give you advice on that. Like, come on, talk about the blind leading the blind. Sometimes, not all GMs are like that. Most of them are great. Where the hell was I? All right, learn Filipino with Papa Jetter. I'm cool with it, especially if you're going to create a documentary for each influencer on the list. Man, I wish I could, And the reality is, even the people that I poke fun of, look, one of my favorite sayings that I like to repeat in Filipino martial arts communities is this: neither popularity nor obscurity are guarantees of quality. Okay, so just because you've got a whole bunch of Instagram followers and a lot of people like you doesn't mean your shit's good. But it also doesn't mean that Lolo from, whatever, Marinduque is any good either, right? None of those, neither popularity nor obscurity, are guarantees of quality. But some people in the Filipino martial arts community, or they like to talk so highly of these obscure, behind closed doors, never before seen kind of masters, because what they're actually doing is they like to show off that they have experience with them. That's what it is. It's this concept of rarity having value, and that's just stupid. It's stupid. You know what? The likelihood of some guy in some island with a population of 8, and one fishing boat that gets you to the main city, if the probability of that grandmaster on that island actually being any good is fucking slim. Let's be real. Not to say he's not a gem, not to say he's not a cultural asset, not to say he shouldn't be sought out for, but I'd much rather learn FMA from a Filipino martial arts teacher or student who lives in New York City and who works in law enforcement and who patrols the streets every day. That's a higher probability of solid quality instruction than Mang Lolo on Shabubu Island. That's just the reality, and people aren't willing to admit that because they have been to the island of Shabubu with Grandmaster whatever, right? And they may have had this grand experience about it, but they're going to talk about that with such an exaggerated play on the actual value and the quality of teaching, because we can't really verify. We can't go to the island of Shabubu and learn with Lolo Gangster. So they can talk all they want about how awesome this dude is, and we would, and they'll say, "Oh, you'll just have to come, you come. I prove you come. Come on, bro. I'm not going to wager $5,000 on a trip to the Philippines on me being right that guy sucks. It's ridiculous." All right, more dumpster fire shit. Okay, so back to my stupid idea. Why am I going to create a 50 FMA influencers list? Like, why? Well, look, a cool byproduct of that is that, there are a lot of names on this list. There are a lot of names on this list that are forgotten, or at least they're forgotten in some circles, or their memory is being kept alive only by a small group of people. So when you create something divisive and pointless that centralizes hundreds, maybe thousands of opinions to one focal point, then that raises everybody. Of course, it's going to be on the heels of perhaps some uncomfortable conversation, but there are some names on that list right now, like just the ballot list, that I'm Googling. And people are sending me messages. Hey, can you put, Mang Shabubu on there? Because he's actually the guy who's responsible for the propagation of the Filipino martial arts on the island of Dingleberry in Europe. That's good. That's good. That's good stuff. But these simangot faces, these naysayers, these detractors, they like to fancy themselves as old school and gatekeepers of the old way. They actually have no idea. What they actually have are transmissions of what the old way may have been told as the reality. These guys live in the East Coast, in New York. These guys live in Stockton and in California, and they are just so much in their bubble that they believe they speak for all of FMA. Get out of here. Yeah, you're not gonna control me, bro. You can whine. I mean, I'll hear your opinion because I think you're actually sometimes you bring up a good point, and I'm not so like arrogant and confident about my opinion that I actually dismiss good information. But there's not been a single clear reason other than what's the point of why I shouldn't actually do it. There's no good reason not to, right? This is a purely why not play, right? If you can give me a reason why I actually shouldn't compose this list, I'd love to hear it. But this is what it's going to amount to. It's going to hurt the grandmaster's feelings that I like. Never mind the other 49, 50, 100 grandmasters who are going to benefit from this. It's going to hurt the feelings of the ones that I know and control me as a human being because I have daddy issues. Stuff like that. No offense. This is not directed towards any one or two people or three people. This is this is a thing in Filipino martial arts. These people exist. So before I get into more into this freaking nonsense, I want to read to you some of the people on this list. It is, I mean, it's stunning, man. It's fucking awesome. I got to go on my page. I'm not going to share with you my screen right now. Downstream I might, but you just never know what's going to pop up. And like, you know, if I type P, like on the search, you know, Pornhub's going to pop up. It's going to be the first one. All right, so let's rock and roll, man. Let me go ahead and read you some of the names on this list. Is that cool with you guys? Would you guys like the dumpster fire? Oh, here, this is a great question. I'd like to know the criteria for this list. Let's tackle that, right? Because, I mean, first of all, if you think this list is going to have any sort of credibility across the board, you can get out of here. It's not, right? It's going to be based on imperfect metrics that a group of people are going to try their best to accomplish. So I'd like to discuss some of the broad stroke criteria for this, okay? So for sure, it's an influencers list. So one quantifiable way that we can do that is to count the number of chapters that they have around the world, to count how many students belong to each one of those chapters, to count how many affiliates they have, and also to count their social status. And it's very easy with some of the tools that I have. I can gather how many Instagram followers you have, how many YouTube subscribers you have, and how many Facebook likes that you have. So that's actually one metric, okay? Even though, as you can tell, it's already nuanced. But that's a quantifiable, countable metric that we can count. That's one. That's the easiest one, right? That's not the only one. The other one is we're going to go into at what point they were influential and what they spawned because of that influence. So if we look at someone like, okay, this is the one that I know, right? So if we look at the influence of Jared Wihungi, Bill McGrath, Romel Tortal, Tim Wade, Erwin Bayarta, Tuhan Philip, Jelena, these are very awesome, influential people in PQE Tertia. They all come, or they all studied, and they all consider their instructor to be the Grand Tuhan, the Yogahe. So that there's a mathematical equation that I'm going to consult some people with, right? Based on like if Jared, Bill, Phil, all these guys, like we count all their social influence, right? Maybe we add that number up, divide it by something arbitrary like 5, divided by 5, and then delegate that score to who their teacher was. Okay, and then we're going to look at intangibles, right? Like who was Dan Inosanto, for example? I don't even know if Dan has like his own Instagram account. You know, I don't think he has his own YouTube channel, and yet his influence is undeniable. And I think the people's fear is that this is going to be inaccurate. And I'm telling you, it is going to be inaccurate. But this isn't some, fucking martial arts hall of fame of which there are hundreds of which people rightfully or wrongfully place great value and take great pride in. But I can tell you this, there isn't one that exists that is respected unilaterally across the board. But I'm not going to go to somebody who feels really proud that they have their Lifetime Achievement Award or their Award of Excellence from a Martial Arts Hall of Fame organization. I'm not going to rain on their parade, okay? Because deep down they know that's bullshit anyway. I'm just kidding. No, but you know what I mean? The proposed value of accolades is directly correlated to who gave it to you. So who the fuck am I? I am a nobody. So I think people should quit having such high expectations about, how accurate this is going to be. It's my list, okay? Just go make your own list. And here's the cool thing, is it's going to incite so much productive dialogue that may be heated and uncomfortable, but believe me, it's going to be productive. Because if my number 4 on that list you don't agree with, well, guess what? You're going to tell all your friends. You're going to tell all your friends, I can't believe Master Shabubu was only on number 4. Well, I can't believe, Guru Bulbul actually made the list. I can't believe Guru Bulbul made the list. So there's going to be these conversations, and the way that you navigate those conversations are a reflection of you. Okay, you're going to be all upset about it, like for real. And if you're going to jeopardize friendships over it, then we're tossing you in the fucking dumpster fire. Like that's where you belong. You gotta chill, bro. You gotta chill. All right. So learn Filipino with Papa Jetter, which, by the way, that Let's Filipino, I fucking love that, bro. I shouldn't swear because I want this to be kid friendly. No, forget it. I'm not gonna try to please everybody. Let's Filipino, freaking brilliant. Shout out to you, whoever you are. Message me on Facebook. I want to get to know somebody who came up with Let's Filipino. It's freaking brilliant. Damn it. Yeah. Jason Rivera. Exactly the same problems I saw and heard in Yao Yan after being a student for a month. Yeah, man. And the thing is, these simangot faces, these like fake gatekeepers who try to impose a particular sensibility on the students, they don't actually realize when people say, martial arts politics turned them off and they left FMA, they're talking about you. They're talking about you. They're talking about you. You're part of the problem, motherfucker. It ain't me. No one's quitting martial arts because some annoying opinionated guy has a podcast. No one's quitting martial arts. No one's quitting Filipino martial arts because of that. People are quitting Filipino martial arts because of assholes like you who propose a sensibility, impose, not even propose, impose a sensibility that doesn't jive with everybody. So you people are ruining martial arts or Filipino martial arts. Or yeah, for real martial arts. So let's get back to my dumpster fire of a list and why this list is stupid and why even I believe the actual list is stupid. But the process of getting that list together is not. It's actually quite poetic. It's profound. It's beautiful. It's such a positive thing. But these, I don't know, man. I think some of these people who are against it, they've just dug themselves into a hole that they can't. They're just not emotionally agile enough. They're not fluid enough to go, maybe Paulo's right. Damn it. So what are they going to do? They're going to monitor the list. They're going to talk about the list behind closed doors. And, let me be real. There are some elements of behind closed doors training that's pretty fucking dope. But gossiping isn't training. You guys are just acting like a bunch of like schoolgirls, high school girls. Did you see what Paulo wrote? Oh, tangina. Who does he think he is? Huh? Who does he think he is? Huh? Does he think he's a big shot? Huh? Is he a big shot? Come on, bro. So let me read you from the list in alphabetical order so far. So this isn't the top 50. This is the ballot. This is what we're going to reduce down to get the top 50, right? So right now it's all roses and rainbows because there's a lot of people on this list and everyone's, proud, honored to be on this list, as they should, right? There are some people on this list that have their students on the list too. And my God, that's got to be a great feeling, right? So Abundio Salazar Bayed, Alex Ormaza, Alexander Pisarkin, Alfredo Bangalan, Alan Fami, Alan Sicchetti, Amante Marinas, Anshong Bapon, Angel Cabales, Arsenio Advincula, Bambit Dulay, Belton Lubis, Ben Largusa, Ben Dunalima, Ben Alfredo Labrido, Benjamin Rittner, Bill McGrath, Bo Sayak, Bob Green, Bobby Tabonina, Bobby Tabawada, Bram Frank, Brian Zawolinsky, Bruce Chu, Bruce Lee, Burton Richardson, Kakoy Cañete, Carlito Bonjoc, Cedric Concon, Celestino Macachor, Chris Saya, Chris Pulo Atilo, Dan Anderson, Dan Inosanto, Daniel Bernas, Daniel Sullivan, Danny Cassio, Danny Vidua, Dante Barona, Darren Tabone, David Gould, Dean Franco, my homeboy, Diana Inosanto, my homegirl, Dieter Kanutel. Sounds awesome. Dieter Kanutel. I love that. Sounds so good. Or is it Nutel? Dieter Nutel. Dieter Nutel. I love that. I've heard such great things about this guy, and he actually commented on the list. I think that's the first time he's ever communicated with me publicly. And then he shared with me this resource, but I'm going off track, but he shared with me this resource of this other Facebook page that has these bios of a lot of these Filipino people. I'm like, what? Like, if that was the benefit alone, if Dieter Knudel messaged me and sent me a link of a fantastic resource that I can enrich my understanding of Filipino martial arts, that alone, dope list. But let's continue. Doc Lengson, Don Cuesta, Doug Marcaida, Ian Floresca, Edgar Sulite, Eduardo Pedoy, Elmer Ibanez, Elric Jundis, Eric Knaus, Eric Lalonier, Ernesto Presas, Felipe Jocano Jr., Felix Cortez, Felix Royles, Philemon Momoy, Cañete, Florendo, Visitacion, Fred Shadian, Garrett Tony Nicholas, Greg Allen, Greg Nelson, Gaudiosa Ruby. Is Gaudiosa Ruby that that mean lady from Hawaii? She got a vibe. Anyway, Henry Espera, Master Henry Espera, Jared Mihongi, Jeff Imada, June Occidental, Johan Skalberg, Johnny Truiton, John Escudero, Jose Caballero, Jose Viñas, Juanito Lacoste, Kelly Warden, shout out Datu, Krishna Godainia, Leo Gahe, Leo Hiron, Leonard Trigg, Lito Lapid, Maya Soderholm. See, you already seeing, right? Like, these names are dope. Mark Denny, Mark Makita, Mark Wiley. Shout out Mark Wiley. I never knew about this motherfucker until like yesterday. And this dude is a freaking genius. And he is a disruptor in FMA at a time when it must have been way more difficult to be a disruptor in FMA. But we need more disruptors in FMA. And it's funny that, you know, when you hear about, you know, a disruptor in tech innovation, it's really a prestigious a title to be called. You know, if you project, you become a disruptive innovator or something like that. It's awesome. But in FMA, it's just someone who speaks their mind and is uncontrolled by a system. We need more. We need more of those. My opinion, anyway. All right, moving on. Mark Denny, with a K. No, it's with a C. I should edit that. Mark Denny, you know, founder, one of the founders of the Dog Brothers. I already said that. Mark Nikita, Mark Wiley. That's where we were. All right, Max Palin, Max Sarmiento, Mal Morney, Mike and I, Mike Krivka, Moni Velez, Napoleon Fernandez, Nari Babao, Narzo Arnold, Nate Defensor, Nene Kaabukayan, excuse me, Nene Tortal, Nick Elazar. Nick Elazar is a gangster, yo. That little dude moves like the Flash. I love that guy. I think he's GM Bobby's best friend. Those two, you ever see Nick Elazar and GM Bobby together? Oh my God, it's the sweetest thing. It is the sweetest. Watch Alex Pasarkin from Russia House made a movie called The King's Blade, and a part of that movie was like Nick Elazar and GM Bobby. I get emotional, man. I mean, those two, it's just so sweet. They're just so sweet together. Shout out Nick Elazar. Shout out Bobby Tabuana. Get to know their story. It's super dope. All right, Nick Papadakis, who he went to the Philippines. I forgot the movie. Tally Means to Scrape. Nick Papadakis, Dog Brother. Awesome. I love these like white dudes who went to the Philippines when it wasn't so easy to go to the Philippines and like sought out these masters. I love that story. You know, it's a fish out of water story. You have this Caucasian dude who like fell in love with Filipino martial arts in Iowa, and then they travel to the homeland to find these masters. Shout out white dudes who did that. And that one black guy. What's his name? Doug Pierre. Doug Pierre. Kali Doug introduced me to this man's story, and he is another friggin' pioneer, you know, of these, you know, these foreigners traveling to Luneta Park. And, sir, I broke my camera. Wait, no, why do the foreigners have a Filipino accent? Oh, fuck. All right, Pax Teneo, Pat Patrick O'Malley. I keep hearing about Pat O'Malley. Can somebody like educate me on this guy? Everyone speaks so highly about GM Pat O'Malley. I actually know very little of him. I feel terrible. But yeah, if you guys like, and just don't send me links, please. Like, let's have a conversation or send me a dope video of GM Pat O'Malley. Something that, you know, if I were to watch 3 minutes of GM Pat O'Malley, send me the 3 minutes that best represents him, okay? I'm not trying to learn his system. I think 3 minutes is enough. Paul Vunak, Peter Weekoff. Peter Weekoff. Weekoff. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. I love his ponytail. He's a very handsome looking man. To be honest, his branding is great. He seems intelligent. But again, by the way, these aren't insults. I'm giving you my honest feedback based on a surface level exposure, right? Again, this is kind of like a comedy show, and if you're gonna get offended by this shit, this is your second warning. Get the fuck out. You don't belong here, please. So when I say something about someone, it's just really an honest, candid, humorous expression of what I think about them based on what little I know of them. Of course, these men, there's more to them, right? Of course, and that's kind of like a super gay thing that, oh, I shouldn't say that. That's a whole different topic. But anyway, it's a super ridiculous thing. You know, when I say something funny about someone and then they bring up some tragic story. So I'll say something like, let's pick a random name. Rene Thompson, because I love him. And we can put that up. So if I didn't know GM Rene and I said something like, oh, GM Rene, you mean that sexy looking guy with glasses? You know, I'll say that, and then somebody who's friends with GM Rene. Remember, all I said about GM Rene, I was like, GM Rene, oh, you mean that sexy looking guy with glasses, right? That's what I'll say. And then someone goes, you know, he'll tell me something like, crazy story. Did you know that when he was 4, he lost his mother and father in a boating accident? He was homeless for 17 years. He had to prostitute himself to go through college. And then once he saved up enough money for a house, the house got burnt down. Huh? And now you just say he's a sexy man with glasses. Disrespectful. People do that to me. Like, Jesus, calm down. I'm sorry, GM Rene, for using you as an example. I'm sorry. I could have picked any other name. But I didn't. I picked you. All right. And this was off Peter Weekoff, right? Like, just because my initial impression of him is like he's a sexy looking Viking with like a ponytail and he's articulate. And he's got a good brand and a logo, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Some guy is like, you have no idea what you speak about, okay? Peter Weekoff single-handedly killed 15 enemies. It went from, I don't know. That accent just went from like German to Russian, split by a syllable. I don't pretend to be good at this stuff. I'm just saying. Is that dumpster fire still on screen? Oh, how appropriate. Can we go on with the list? Can you guys stop bugging me? I'm just kidding. Where were we? Yes, Philip Gelina, Rafi Pambuan, Ray Dionaldo, Ray Terry, Raymond Floro, Raymond Velayo, Remy Presas, Rene Latosa, Rene Thompson, Ray Galang, Richard Bostilio, Rick Fay, Reno Balinado, Robert Castro, Rodel Dagoa. By the way, notice any titles up in here? You should know them by name, not by their title. No, why did I just say that? That's stupid. I don't really mean that. What I'm saying is that I didn't put their titles on here because I think it might influence people. And if you know someone as GM and like you actually don't know his name, terrible branding. I'm gonna get stabbed. I'm going to get stabbed by a Filipino martial artist I've offended. And the best that I can hope for is that they never sparred and I will eat them alive when we try. Oh God. I'm fucking around, y'all. Where were we? Richard Bustillo, Rick Fay, it's probably Reno Balinado or Reno Balinado, but for me, it kind of looks like Rhino Balinado. That's how the Guaylos pronounce it. Okay, anyway, the Gaijin, the Putis. Oh man, I love white people. I love them, especially the ones who do FMA. And do it right. You know. Oh man, I'm getting stabbed. Okay, Robert Castro, Rodel de Gook, Rodrigo Maranga, Roland Dante, Romeo Macapagal, Romeo Mamar, Ronel Tortal, Ron Balicki, Sal Morales, Simon Wells, Shuk Sayok, Shuk Glarag, Sonny Ompad, you sexy beast, you. That dude had style, man. That guy looked like a poet. He always dressed in black and had the sharpest shoes, had his hair slicked back. So sexy. Yeah. And his students are doing a good job. They're embodying, you know, I saw some of Sonny's old videos and I see these two dudes and I'm like, bravo, bravo. We're going to keep that legacy alive through movement. Anyway, Stephen Roy Dadell, Stephen Dowd, Tatang Illustrissimo, Ted Buot, Ted Lucay Lucay, the Atienza brothers, the Carlos Hermanos, or the Carlos brothers, Paste Sixto, the Geronimo family, the Ladra brothers. I think there's more than two, but the two of my homeboys there are Bobby and Apollo. Yo, I'm burping. Sorry, guys. The Lanada family. So, quick story about the Lanada family. I know nothing about them. And I asked Baste Carlos, one of the Carlos brothers, I'm like, who's the Lanada family? And he was just like, I don't know. Guys, I'm new, man. Relatively new. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to be insulting. I don't know the Lanada family. Educate me, you know? Don't tell me how stupid I am. No, Baste did not do that, you know? But some people give me that impression. It's like, you don't know the Ogahe? You don't know Blue Blue Blue? You don't know GM Shabubu from the island of Bulbul? GM Shabubu from the island of Bulbul. Wow. Wow. It's Shabu. GM. It's like GM crack from the island of pubic hair. That's the that's the translation. No, I don't know. I don't know everyone. I don't know a lot. I know nothing. By the way, in working in the firearms industry, this happens a lot too. You know, you see somebody with a firearm with a wrong optic or like an accessory, and then the community kind of jumps on them and makes fun of them and says, "Oh, why would you do that? Don't you know that?" And then, you know, my homeboy Daniel Shaw finally, you know, and among others, but my homeboy Daniel Shaw was like, "Look here, dick faces. Instead of making fun of this noob, why don't we take this as an opportunity to create another one of us by being welcoming and educating this guy instead of immediately banding together so that we can, you know, feed our egos for a little bit and feel like we belong because we're making fun of this guy together." You know, let's not do that to newcomers to Filipino martial arts, yo. There was this dude on FMA discussion, and he did this thing called a virtual spar, where he would just essentially doing a carenza right in front of the camera. Before that moment, he sent me a video like that, and I was like, "Yo, bro, that's a dope idea," because I actually played his video right in front of the screen, and I was reading his load positions, and I was body angling, and I was defending and then countering off this one's video. So this guy posted it on FMA discussion. And the first comments were so derogatory, right? Because, you know, he wasn't the most athletically built guy, he looked like a young kid. And people just made fun of him. And I was like, "Are you guys stupid?" You guys are literally judging a book by its cover. You're not digging deeper into the value of something, and you're ganging up on the kid who actually has a great idea. So I called it out, and before you know it, sure enough, the wave turned to appreciating this young man, right? I am an influencer. No, I think I'm just the first one to dance. This is, FMA is like a high school dance, and they're all waiting for that one, guy to start the dance. And that's me. And you know what? I look like a fool sometimes, but I'm going to start the dance. And hopefully that gets, some of the boys off their seats, and maybe they ask some of the girls to dance. And then we actually end up having a nice high school dance, instead of, the boys over there talking about all the sex they've had as virgins and dumb shit like that. So anyway, we're going to go back to the list. I'm going to get to your commentary, homeboys, because, I'm feeling that you're feeling me, all right? And that makes me really proud. I'm feeling that you're feeling me, but I want that to be our understanding, okay? Because I'm going to say some things that you will agree with, and I'm going to say some things that you won't agree with. But right now, I feel like you're feeling me, and I'm saying I appreciate you. So here's the deal. You like me now. You're gonna hate me tomorrow when you don't agree with me. So I'll ask for a second chance now, okay? And I'll do the same with you. Like, that's how it should be. Anyway, the list is almost done. We're at the Lanata family. Then there's Thorbjorn Hartelius. Thorbjorn? What? That's a dope name. That is so like Viking Earl. I am Thorbjorn Hartelius. Anyway, all right. And then we have Guy Fieri, Tim Hartman. Tim Hartman does look like Guy Fieri sometimes, though, doesn't he? Or his tips. But that's another misunderstood. It's another misunderstood dude at FMA. Datu Tim Hartman. Datu Puti, the white Datu. And then there's also Datu Kelly Ward. Two white Datus. Datu. Okay, and then there's Tim Mausel, Tom Bizio, Tony Diego, Tony Somera, Topher Ricketts, Tuper Ricketts, Uli Vidal, Yuli Romo, Zach Taco. By the way, there's 64 other people on this list. There are 64 comments on this thread. And there are some names in here that aren't on the ballot yet, but there will be people like Erwin Bayarta. Who else? There's a couple of people. Gilbert Teneo. Oh, I can't sing. No, there was some Tom Bizio. Maybe I already added in there. Anyway, the cool thing about this list so far, guys, even though it's stupid and pointless, and there are a few people who think it's a terrible idea, is that it's already generating so much good. Like I said, there are some names on this list that maybe you heard, and I'll put it in the description once this is done. But maybe you've never heard of them. Maybe they're dead. Maybe while they were living, they made a mistake of picking like terrible human beings to be their successors who killed their art. Maybe this is a way for them to get a second chance at being remembered, at being discovered, of being appreciated. And this is really the true value of this dumbass, stupid list. But yeah. But enough about that. Learn Filipino. Need the definition of FMA. Would you include boxers, Pac-Man? No, I would not include Manny Pacquiao as a Filipino martial artist. Oh my God, you're gonna drag me into this bullshit conversation, bro? I love you so much. Okay, so there are universal principles in fighting that manifest across multiple styles, right? Whether you want to call it a jab, a buji, whether you want to call it circling out or managing kazushi. These are universal principles, right? Is it trapping or so like a Wing Chun guy, maybe Manny Pacquiao, right? southpaw. Maybe Manny would pin the lead hand of his opponent and then punch, 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 right? In boxing, we call that boxing. But in Wing Chun, it may be more sophisticated in its methodology and emphasis in training. And so when a Wing Chun practitioner sees, Manny Pacquiao or any boxer trapped, they're like, oh, that's Wing Chun, that's JKD. But it's not, because we can't call something that it's not outside of the context that it's being applied in, right? So, for example, and this is semi-contradictory, everything I do is FMA. When I do judo, I do FMA. When I box, I do FMA, right? But when I'm in a boxing match, I'm not doing FMA. When I'm in a judo match, I'm not doing FMA, right? So that's where the distinction is. Manny Pacquiao is a boxer. That's it, right? So, and I think, former Navy SEAL Kenny Bigby Jr., pro MMA, former MMA fighter, pro MMA fighter, current pro MMA coach, Jared Wihungi. I had these three guys in conversation, and we were talking about this thing that words are meant to liberate us, right? These words are meant to make us feel good. Instead, they become cages, right? And this is so prevalent in FMA. When does at what point does it become a redondo and not a witik? A follow through, and that's anyway. Stuff like that, right? So when you're doing the activity, you're doing the techniques from that activity. When you're doing judo moves, right? If you're doing judo and you do a double leg takedown, if it was allowed, right? Wrestlers will go, well, we do that too, but they don't get into this bitch fest like traditional martial artists sometimes get about it, Like it's crazy. It's crazy. So anyway, thanks for dragging me into that. Really appreciate it. Oh, this is a dumpster fire after all. All right, Jason Rivera saw that GM Bobby scene on the King's Blade, and it is indeed so awesome. It would make your eyes leak. Don't make me cry, bro. Don't make me cry. Okay. For real, that was dope. That scene was dope. And yeah, shout out to Alexander Pisarkin for the efforts of that movie, man. He documented some great moments. Yeah, I could have gone without the whole fictional narrative of finding this King's Blade. I'm going to review the movie. I thought the voiceover was horrible. I thought it was actually a robot. But whatever, that stuff inconsequential to the effort, the intention, and the outcome. And people love that movie. I love that movie. I'm being a stupid critic. I'm like, I'm sorry. But I didn't like the narration, and I really could have done without the fictional narrative, the story driver to go from master to master. But I understood its purpose. Right? I understood its purpose. But that could have been just a great straight-up documentary with slick cuts in between masters, because that's really where the true value of that movie is. You guys should go see it. I think it's free on YouTube now, but I would suggest not watching it for free. I would suggest buying it and supporting Alexander Pisarkin. That movie could not have been cheap to make. So if you can find The King's Blade, I mentioned Nick Papadakis's movie Kali Means to Scrape. There's also that movie The Bladed Hand. Go buy these movies. It's so easy to pirate them. I can send you a link later, message. I'm just kidding. But man, support it. You love FMA, support it. Pay for that shit. All right. So thanks for trying to make me cry there, Jason Rivera, you asshole. I love you, bro. Maybe Fabian Jolivel from France, Old Nicholas Igbalin to walk, Nick Elazar, their videos, the Campo 123. Hey, yeah, let's go add him. Find me on Facebook. Let's add him to the list. Yeah. And by the way, we're there. If people can semi-articulate why somebody ought to be on that ballot and be in consideration, we're going to put them in. It's about love. It's about love. So let's do that. Let's love them. Badger Jones, really cool hearing those names. Some of those cats I haven't thought about in a long time. Yo, and you just, bro, I appreciate that for real. I really appreciate that. And I hope you're not just saying that because that's what it's what I think is a real benefit of this. That there are people whose memories will get jogged, and then these dead grandmasters are alive once more. If not, if for a moment, right? And that's awesome. And this is kind of why I want to just like smash down these freaking haters of this list. Not really. I really don't care that much. I just like calling them out because and they're my friends, They're my friends too. But I like to think that I have a pretty good relationship with them. Who knows? Who knows? They probably secretly talk about me and hate me behind the back. I don't care. We'll go have a beer. Yeah, so Badger, thank you very much for sharing that, bro. Yeah, and guys, if you look up this list, it's going to be on the description of this video. This has been 51 minutes. I don't know if I'm going to make chapters. I really didn't talk about anything super awesome, but I'm thinking this will be a daily show, and I'm thinking eventually I'm going to put up a way for you guys to, donate some money, monetize this effort. Because I do this for love, but I look at some of these people who try to do it for love over a period of time, and they miserable. They're miserable. What's love got to do with it? If I can get like $20, $50, something like that, every time I do a podcast and spend an hour preparing and do an hour doing, I'll probably do it longer. Let's be real. What's love got to do with it? It's got a lot to do with it. But I'm saying, right? And then we're gonna take some time, and I'll be transparent about it. I'm not gonna be like, hey, we're gonna raise funds for this poor family and then pocket that shit. I'm gonna find a way for this to be transparent, so when you're donating your hard-earned $1.50 to me, that it's going to me because you hate my hat, and once I get $10, I'm gonna take off the hat. I don't know, some dumb shit. But you're also gonna know for real when I ask for a donation for a good cause, and I understand that enough people are asking for your money, and I understand that enough people are troubled and are deserving of help, right? And I'm gonna get criticized. Why are you helping this Filipino martial arts master? Here's an even poorer one. Oh yeah? Well, this guy is even poorer than that guy. Oh yeah? Well, that guy's poor and he's missing his legs. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? That guy's poor, he's missing his legs, and he just lost his house. That's how Filipinos are. They're gonna have a problem. They're gonna have a problem with you. But also Filipinos are really awesome. They are hospitable, loving, and genuine people. Awesome. Tron, Guru, whatever. If I didn't actually know Belton Lubis, I swear he was collecting these certificates. But this motherfucker is actually skilled at each one of the things that he does. You're an anomaly. You're the guy that suffers. Tuan Belton is the guy that suffers because of the broad generalization, right? Because you're not supposed to be able to have all of these ranks and actually be good at them. It's an anomaly, and for the most part, it's impossible. But here you have Tuan Belton, who is actually dope at those things, who is actually a great communicator and an instructor, who actually coaches fighters, to some level of championship glory. But he gets swept up. He gets swept up. Oh my God. You get swept up in the generalization where you are actually the anomaly. And so I'm sorry about that, I'm not sorry. I laugh at you for that because we're friends, and I I laugh at you. But you get caught up in the I guess the general truth that some people just hop from system to system, get their certification, and then bounce. Tuan Belton is not that. He continues to train these things, he continues to maintain them, and he integrates them, he blends them, he remixes them, and he comes up with his own stuff, right? How do I know this? Because I trained with this dude, and I talked with this dude. And I know the people that he trains, and I've seen his fighters fight. I've seen his fighters kick ass. That's how I know it. Yeah. You know, I mean, I think you got your I think you got your two-hanship rather quick, right? Comparatively speaking, right? And so there's this whole like thing, this Nuhan thing, and then, you know, it may not get the credibility it deserves because you're being compared to people like, you know, Duan Philip and the guys who took a long time to earn it, you know, and there are some, you know, Tuhans that really suck. You know, I'm looking at Mexico, looking at Mexico, not all Mexico, that one guy from Mexico, right? So we see it, and it's like, oh, I feel bad for my homeboy Belton. I feel bad because you are dope, and you do fight, man. You know, I gotta fight you, but I'm not fighting you double stick because your double stick fighting is like, man, that match. If you guys get an opportunity to see the match, never mind. The footage is garbage, but the match was dope between Belton Lubis and Lamont Glass at the T1 event. That was such a dope fucking match, but it's so hard to watch. Like, if you don't have the capabilities to go frame by frame and things like that, you know, because there's like a mirror in the background. So not only were the two fighters there and the camera wasn't really framed that well, but you can also see the spectators in the mirror. It was garbage footage. Fantastic fight. Fantastic fight. JTR, by the way, I'm popping these comments up before reading them. So if you want to talk some shit, go ahead. I'm likely not going to filter it. I'll click it. Nuhan, Nuru massage. What? Nuhan, Nuru. You're a Koa Nuhan 7. What? God, failing at comedy right now. Failing, not being funny. Let's go back to JT. JTR. Some of us newer students know very little about the culture of FMA. Any insight is always of more benefit than not knowing. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the thing you need to understand about Filipino culture is, I don't know, if you're married, I'm going to get sexist and generalize again. But it, oh God, am I gonna? Okay, so first let me say these are my opinions, and none of the companies that I work for, own, or are affiliated with necessarily reflect the things that I'm about to say. I should have said that from the fucking beginning. Aperture believes that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, anyway, fuck you people. Not you. You dudes are cool. I'm talking about those people. I'm talking about those people. You know, high school gossiping behind people's backs, and they either haven't got the balls to bring it out straight, or they haven't got the intelligence to face the scrutiny of their opinion. That's why they're behind closed doors. Let's be real. You know. Anyway, I'm fucking dissing people so bad today. It is a dumpster fire show. Anyway, JT, what do you want to learn about Filipino culture, bro? It is as simple as it is complex. It is centered around this idea of respect. I'll give you the 3 pillars of Filipino culture. I should say the 3 pillars of Filipino society, according to me, because some researcher out there is going to pee slap me and say, well, actually, pre-colonial times and blah, blah, blah. Fucking researchers. I'm just joking. I love researchers. No, but what was I saying? The 3 pillars that I believe to be at the core of Filipino society are family, religion, and education. Those 3 things, right? So we value those things tremendously. We value religion or faith. And I think now more than ever, there's a kind of religious tolerance right? More so than in the past. The Philippines is like 86% Roman Catholic, right? And then there's family, right? And family can extend to your tribe, your boys, your homies, your cuz. It extends to that, and these ties are very, very strong. It reminds me a lot about the Marine Corps. I'm not a Marine. I hang out with a lot of Marines. A couple Marines are my legit brothers, right? And if a Marine is about to get into a bar fight, he just needs to call his other Marines, and those other Marines will go without question, and they'll fucking bang it out. That's the kind of family loyalty that exists amongst Filipinos. The cool thing about both the Marines and the Filipino culture is that once that fight is done, the guy who called you out, the guy who called out reinforcements are going to have to answer. They're going to have to answer the whys. Why did we have to get into that fight? Was that really necessary? And if it's not, they're going to get their ass kicked by their own kind. And that's what it is. That's what it is. And that's how Filipinos are. You know, if my son calls me out there to kick somebody's ass, I'm going to go kick that guy's ass first. And then when me and my son are inside, I'm like, okay, why did I kick that guy's ass? And if he can't provide me a good answer, I'm going to kick his ass. That's how Filipinos be. By the way, there's a dude named like Hubert who is a Filipino who does karate, who doesn't think I'm Filipino enough, you know. Fuck that guy. I'm just kidding. You know, this is my platform, right? I can get personal if I want to. All right, so stop. Don't. You guys have too high an expectation of me for professionalism. Yeah, I hear that shit. Vendettas. So anyway, what else about Filipino culture, bro? Literally, it's the most hospitable people you will ever meet on the planet. Like literally, if a poor family has 2 eggs, okay, left in the freezer, and you come as a guest, they're gonna fry up those 2 eggs, you know, and they're probably gonna offer most of it to you until you try to share it back. That's how hospitable the Filipino people are, you know. So that's what you should know. And if look, if you're a foreigner traveling to the Philippines and you're there to see a grandmaster and you offer that grandmaster money, there's a good chance that grandmaster is going to refuse that money. And here's my tip to you. Find a way to make sure they get it. Stuff it in their bag, hide it under the mat, okay? When an FMA grandmaster tells you he doesn't want you to pay for the training, pay for the training. All right? Pay for the training. Pay for the training. Somehow, some way, pay for the training. All right? And I, you know, there was a time when I said, you know, buy him a shirt or something like that. But pay for the training, okay? Because they are so, when a grandmaster is teaching you his art, he's thinking, wow, he's traveled all the way out here. He's coming to meet me. He is my guest. And so that same hospitality bleeds into what ought to be, in my opinion, lean closer to a business transaction. Yeah? Or a business transaction. Look, not a business transaction like you're about to go, you know, buy a pack of smokes, but a business transaction more closely related to how you don't get to go to university for free unless you're a scholar, you know, unless you get a scholarship. And very few deserve that scholarship, but actually get a kind of scholarship. So when this dude from Luneta Park, when this dude that you seek out, who welcomes you and spends a good part of his day to train you, or maybe more days, and when it's time to pay, don't even ask, how much do I owe you? Like, that could be insulting to them. Okay? Give them what you feel they're worth. Give them what you were prepared to pay them. Okay? Even if they say no. Please do that. Trust me on this. All right? Trust me on this. We can talk more about Filipino culture, but let's do it another time. I'm gonna end this. This has been an hour. This has been another episode of FMA Dumpster Fire Podcast. I'm not gonna end. I'm just joking. Belton. Some are entering their first chance. Some are trying for their third. These chances are awesome. Evolutionary changes that propel themselves and the art. Yeah, there are some people in FMA that I'm all out of opportunities for them. Some people are just stuck in their ways. Let's be honest, right? I think not Filipino martial, like martial artists like to say a lot of things. Always a student. I'm always a student. When you hear a martial arts master say, "Oh, I'm always a student," here's a follow-up question: when was the last time you actually enrolled and paid for or participated in a class that doesn't belong to your group in which you're actually a student? And if they're not able to answer that question fast enough, then they're bullshitting you. Because the title of player coach, the title of student teacher, to me is very prestigious. To me, is very prestigious. If you think about what a player coach is, it's somebody wise enough to guide the pack but still be able to be on the front line. Right? And a teacher student is the exact same thing. I'm your sensei, but I'm still learning. So everybody wants to be that, but rarely are people actually that. So when they say that, do you think it would be disrespectful to go, well, follow-up question, homie, when was the last time you actually went to class? And if they can't answer that, they'll probably come up with some answer like, well, I learn every day from my, for real. We all learn every day. We're not all calling ourselves player coaches. Chill, bro. Okay. That was a great episode. I think we burned a lot of nonsense today. I think we dumped a lot of things into this fire. And, guys, I want to, and help me out, I think I should end every episode on a positive note. What do you think? Right? Because it's going to be more or less like this comedy bitch fest. And I just don't want people to get the wrong idea that I somehow don't love FMA or that I somehow don't care about the future of FMA. Or that, it's very easy for people to go, he's only doing that for views, right? It's very easy for them to say that. Because it's true. No. No. Yeah, if it was views that I wanted, I could get it much faster than this. If it was, if I wanted to make money, making martial arts videos, believe me, I can do that. I can do that, right? I'm an editor. I'm a fucking director. I know how to manipulate fucking cinematography and shit like that. I know the social growth hacks. I'm not employing them on purpose because I kind of just want to do my own thing, be myself, support the community, right? Because there's tons of money in FMA, guys. Because there's tons of money in FMA, right? Come on. Got to be a reason. But anyway, the people who are who say things like, oh, he's only doing it for views and whatever, attention. Yeah, they're kind of right. I'm an entertainer, right? The world is my stage, right? I do feel good when the view counts are high, and I'm not even going to deny. I'm not even going to deny the fact that that is part of my intention. Well, maybe not intention. It's part of my tool set to accomplish what my grand vision is, and I'll share that with you guys in another episode. The bladed hand is like $2. Did I just pop somebody's ears? Who's this? Belton Lubis is on my list. I have the DVD set. Oh, the Masters DVD set? Belton. Dope. I gotta go to that event. That Legacy. Oh, fuck balls. That Legacy event with GM Dye and Tabone that happened in Hawaii. I would love to go there one day. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for spending your time. I don't know. Should I be thanking you for spending your time with me? Because what else would you be doing? You should be thanking me, right? I don't know how that works, but thank you for being here. Thank you for hearing me out. Thank you for your commentary. Stream unavailable. Huh. All right, well, fuck it. Peace out. See you guys next time. Wait, hold on. No, that's not cool. No, let's fix it. Let's fix the problem. Okay, let me fix the problem. Yeah, because I noticed, like, all of a sudden it dropped to, like, nobody watching it. What's happening? What is happening? Maybe, okay, I'm going to go remove this and check here. I'm going to close this. Sorry, guys, bear with me. Or not, whatever. I understand if you go. Oh, there's chats. Okay. Oh, unavailable. No, I'm still on. I'm back on. Oh, there's chats. Okay. Oh, unavailable. There we go. All right. So, oh, there's this chat, right? Oh, that's dope. Oh my God. Because I'm inside my platform right now. I should be monitoring what's going on YouTube. It looks dope. So if you guys are watching me from YouTube right now, you see this chat thing? How do I make a top chat? How do I do that? Pin message. Oh, that's dope. I think here there's a new feature, and by the way, you guys should learn about this. There's a new feature on YouTube called Super Chat, where basically I get to talk, and then if there's something you want me to talk about, and there's like, yeah, you lost me for 3 minutes, right? Oh damn. Well, thanks for sticking around, guys. And maybe it's for the best that shit that I was saying, never makes it into the ether. But in any case, if you guys are watching me from YouTube right now, there's a chat on the right side, and eventually I'm going to be able to create a thing called Super Chat, where yeah, you can donate like 25 cents, like right away. I don't know, give me a sticker or something, and then I get something out of that, some shit like that. But anyway, yeah, if you're a Filipino martial artist and you need some help navigating through the social space, I'm an open book. I may or may not reply to you right away, but I'm here to support you. And anything that I'm doing now, anything that I learn, I hope to pass along to people so that they can get to have their own voice too. Except for the simangot faces and the negative naysayers in FMA. Y'all will be left in your back rooms gossiping like little bitches. Okay, I'm just joking. I love you guys too. Do I? I probably don't. No, I think I'm just trying to be diplomatic. Nah, I don't actually love those guys. I mean, maybe at best I appreciate them, and I acknowledge their place in the FMA ecosystem. Because my God, I mean, can you imagine if FMA was all united and positive, and like no one was stirring up the pot, and there would be no drama, and there'd be no simangot faces who say, don't do this. Now, what would we have to talk about, right? Everybody's got a place in the ecosystem of FMA. But here's what we're going to do. When it starts to stink too much, we're going to pick up that trash and we're going to throw it in the dumpster fire. And this is what this podcast is all about. The FMA Dumpster Fire Podcast, discussing issues we like to pretend don't exist. Love it, hate it, love me, hate me, doesn't matter. If we meet in person, we can hug it out, have some beers, or fight. No live blades. I'll tell you that now. I understand what that is. It's a cop-out. It's because you don't spar and you think, we're actually going to go live blades. But I have a job and kids, and so do you. And so let's not even pretend that bravado shit is anything real other than a stipulation designed to kill the agreement to fight. It's a bitch move disguised as bravado. When somebody says, oh, you want to challenge me? Okay, bring up the live blade. Not happening, bro. Not happening. I'm not going to die over a disagreement over which footwork model to use in Largo. It's retarded. Who almost said it? It's so gay. I'm not going to say words. Yeah. y'all know what I'm saying. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I was born in 1980, right? I grew up in a time when it was okay to say, yo, that's retarded. Oh man, that's gay. You know, I don't know. But I can change. I tell you, I can change. I can change. But no, I actually like, you know, whatever. Am I going to pull this out? I'm going to be like, my best friend's black. You know, it's kind of like, well, I've got gay friends. Doesn't make it okay, I guess. My cousin's retarded, therefore I can use that. No, you can't do that shit. I don't think it works like that. Does it? Do I get a card? Do I get a card? Hey, my gay friends, can I get a card, please, so I can use this without being crucified? I love the term, yo, that's gay, bro. You know, or like calling guys bitches is the best. Like, bro, don't be a little bitch, guy. Why you being a bitch, bro? Really riles them up. Oh yeah, by the way, if I call you a bitch online, I'm not saying, yo, bitch. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, oh, you're such a bitch, bro. It's with a smile. I've called people bitches online, and they went off. And I'm like, oh yeah, they can't hear my voice. Why am I not ending this fucking podcast? This is a legit dumpster fire. All right, peace out. One love. Look, I'll give you my PayPal address. It's paulo.rubio@gmail.com. I do not expect anything to pop up on there. But if you wanted to be cool and drop me $1.15 to this PayPal, I'm going to do this. I am going to be such a whore right now. I'm going to be such a dirty, dirty whore. I'm going to ask for fucking donations. Yeah, I'm going to take off my shirt for my $1.15. I'll do it. What the frick? There's my PayPal. Okay, any money that I get from this podcast, which I don't know why anyone would pay for this shit, I'm gonna give it all to GM Renee to support the youth fund, right? There are these like little fucking Filipinos, man, who can't afford to do FMA. It's so sad. And then and GM Renee provides them with world-class, high-quality training with all equipment thrown in. So, look, send me $1.50. Send it to paul.rubio@gmail.com on PayPal. Or you can send it to GM Renee directly. Oh, but then I got to look for that. Screw it. Don't. But, like, I don't know. Whatever. I'm just being a whore. But that's what should happen. If you enjoy this, if you found this enlightening, if you want me to keep doing stuff like this, if there are any topics you'd like for me to cover, we can keep names out of it. I know a lot of Filipino martial artists out there are harboring a lot of pain and animosity, and I think it just helps sometimes to talk about it and to understand that this is, you know, it's likely whatever you're feeling has happened to other people, and you know, let's speak out. Let's empower ourselves. Okay. All right. I love FMA. I love everything about it. I even love the Simangot faces. Just thank you. Thank you to the old masters who kept this art alive during the dark ages. Thank you to the masters who traveled across the oceans to promote and propagate this art. Thank you for all the practitioners who are good ambassadors of the Filipino martial arts. Thank you to the critics of Filipino martial arts. Thank you to my personal critics. Just thank you. All right, take a deep breath. Let's express some fucking gratitude. We are alive, and that's a gift, right? So, show's over, joke's done. Thank you very much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you probably tomorrow right around the same time. I'm gonna try to do this daily. All right, this is a lot of stuff to talk about. Love you guys. One love. Peace out.